Hi, it's me. I'm going to wait till 10 seconds before I start talking. This is probably one of the World in Conflict Soviet Assault. Soviet Assault is actually a DLC, and well, we can't get to it in a minute, but I'll tell you, if I'm playing as a Russian character, it's DLC, because originally that's what it was, and then this is the Steam version, by the way. I believe now you can buy it as, excuse me, biting on a chip, on GOG. Eventually Steam just made it, or Ubisoft, because it is a Ubisoft game, without Uplay, believe it or not. Let's make this easy, because I could care less about... This is the one game I actually kind of get mildly completionist on. BECAUSE of the Rus. Because I can't spell the whole, Russians word. So we're gonna start. That you play the tutorial. The tutorial is basically a base, and it just tells you how to play the game. But I've played this game so much, that's not really a concern for me. Winter, 1988. I doubt that CD key will work, but if you want it, there, I suppose. So, I'm playing this right now. This is the Russian Federation is what replaced the Soviet Union. But hey, anything to have algorithm gods bless me with their presence, I suppose. But this is actually a really good game. I'm going to lower that TV volume. This is a really good game. Right now, the Russians have probably 100,000 or above troops on the Ukrainian border. If you include the Belarusians, the soldiers of Belarus, that probably ups it. And I know the Russians are doing some exercises in Belarus right now, because Ukraine has a northern border with Belarus. And
spirits were high, and
all I will say is the Russians very clearly are the villain here. Not only in this, well, depending on your viewpoint in this game, they are or they aren't. But in the case of reality, being the world we live in, I think the Russians are the villain. You don't just have 100,000 troops on a border like what Russia and Ukraine have, with a separatist insurgency what's going on? I'm gonna have to lower some settings. Too bad that was not a bad cutscene, too. But, 100,000 troops, they say it's there for exercises, and they are on the Russian side of the border. And Russia, yes, stole territory from Ukraine, and is supporting rebels. They will never, well, might admit in some form the Crimean situation, but I doubt they'll ever fully admit to, if at all, to the supporting of rebels in, I believe, part of Donbass, and... oh god, what was it? Donbass and Luhansk. I could be mispronouncing one of those. I do apologize. Let's fuck with some settings. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, we'll do this mission. So... excuse me. So... and Russia has recently... given some, how shall I say, security proposals, although really it's just like, you either do this or we won't remove this kind of a thing. Basically, they want all weapons and missiles out of Eastern Europe. They want NATO troops to leave Eastern Europe. And they Oh god, what? There was another thing. Exercises, I think they wanted them to stop. And while NATO, and they also want a ban on Ukraine joining NATO, which is really not their decision. They would have to invade the country to make it their decision, and even then, the economic penalties would be substantial. The U.S., NATO, would probably go and support them. I mean, because we've already made our point that, like, yeah.
Do not allow your team to stray, Romanov. They must not be discovered.
For fuck's sake. Why is it?
They will discover us, Comrade Lieutenant. Go.
Are you fucking kidding me? I did this! Jesus Christ. So... the cost for the Russians will be substantial. And they're not what they were... while their army is probably the biggest force to be reckoned with that they have, they are not what they were. They're not the Soviet Union anymore. The Soviet Union, you think even in the 80s could probably win or do substantial damage before they lost. And that's about all I think the Russians now can do, at least to oversimplify the what I'm saying here, to oversimplify the situation. But they're not... Putin thinks that if he plays enough hardball, he's going to win. And it's like, it's almost like he wants this to happen. I think what he's waiting for is a casus belli to basically invade and go to war. Russia is becoming quite resurgent. Oh god, what else is there? He sees Eastern Europe as his sphere of influence. Okay. And a lot of those countries... Oh, what's going on? See, the gameplay works fine. We're gonna have to go into the menu and mess around with a few things. He feels Eastern Europe is his backyard, and he doesn't want NATO to expand. But because of what's going on in Ukraine right now, Finland wants to join NATO, and so does Sweden. Or at least the governments want to do it. And joining NATO is not like, I want to join NATO, let's sign some paperwork. There's actually a Russian song that plays about now, but I keep getting copyrighted. Or at least the times I included it in footage. I keep getting copyrighted. Oh, for fuck's sake. I keep getting copyrighted because the Red Army Choir is like, no, it's mine. Yep. Okay, let's save. BECAUSE of the Russians. Blame them. No new text messages, that's good. I also have to shovel snow. Probably do that around 5:30, so we're going to do that. We're going to exit to the main menu because I can't access the graphical settings in gameplay. But possibly... Okay, so if it's getting back to my thing on the missions. If it's a yellow mission, it's a DLC mission. Because originally Soviet Assault was a DLC. So... graphics, resolution... medium? You have switched between D9 and D10 rendering. This will not take effect until... Hope you like my stuff here. I don't... that was really just my Full Sail 1, because I'm a Full Sail University student. So here is the Twitch Studio Beta for... on my desktop. Because I have the card plugged into my laptop for reasons. So let's restart. Alright, let's go to Steam. But first, hang on. I do want to show you, because I put another 1TB SSD in there. Here we have Balena Etcher. Because Balena Etcher, it's a thing that allows you to make a USB drive a bootable drive, and I like to play around with Linux every so often. We have Studio One, I gotta play around with that. And all these games. Gotta be filling them up! Alright, well, go to Steam, open this. Now, there are... Massgate doesn't actually support the multiplayer for this anymore. Too bad, because it was actually not bad. The few times, or Massive, whatever the fuck you want to call this thing. But too bad, because the... Let's get rid of that. The multiplayer wasn't bad. I think there's community ones, but I don't know how to interact with those. So, do you get my point?
To no one's surprise.
Yep, we did that. I also start with 4 T-80s. Because this is the 80s, so...
So Call 1 to all battle group elements. Today we liberate West Berlin from the American oppressors. Only minutes remain until we rain fire on the enemy. Lieutenant Romanov, I want you to initiate the artillery. The wall itself will be destroyed by pre-placed explosives.
Alright.
Fire mission confirmed.
Scratch my ear for a bit.
This is Sokol 1. Red Dawn. I
say again, Red Dawn.
Make me proud.
Yeah.
Molotov here. Artillery strike hit the mark. Enemy casualties reported. Over.
We have 3 main objectives. Destroying the US 6th Armored Battalion, securing the Moltke Bridge over the Spree, and clearing the 17th June Street for use by Army Command.
The cut. I would love a remaster of this. And believe it or not, the game supports mods, but not like through Steam, which is unfortunate. And it's all multiplayer mods too. There might be campaign mods that are like unit mods that add more modern stuff, but well, let's keep that down.
You are halfway to the phase line, Lieutenant. Keep moving forward. Make haste to the phase line, Romanov. I am clearing a path for you.
Maloshenko to Sokol 1. Resistance is heavier than expected.
Maloshenko, you will get assistance.
And as well, you can go like down to the grass. And I mean, I've lowered the resolution a bit, but it's actually surprisingly detailed. Like, you can go down to eye level of the infantry and everything. It's awesome.
Well done, Lieutenant. Phase line Volga is secure.
You would also think this would be the tutorial mission,
Romanov,
but really, because of how they would make this the tutorial mission. Because of how they organized the DLC with the stuff, you know, because of how they organized the DLC, the actual first mission is the one after this. Oh, a statue. Let's go look at it. Ah, we can't, like, get close enough. But hey, it looks Greek. Right. I haven't really encountered one yet, but there is usually in these points, and I'd have them when I capture them, kind of a thing. A missile defense, like an anti-armor post. Oh, sort of tutorial. But there's a few other. There's all manner of things here. There's three of them. There's the infantry one, which is what's starting. There's an anti-aircraft one, and then somewhere around here there ends up being a heavy armor, like anti-armor emplacement, which is nice.
Excellent. The road junction has been secured.
This is Dnieper calling Cycle 1. We're under heavy attack by the Monkey Bridge. I cannot hold. They have helicopters. I repeat, they have...
Dnieper. Come in, Dnieper. Short. We have to secure Monkey Bridge or the entire flank will fall. Romanov, I'm sending you to reinforce Section B and capture that bridge. You will need anti-aircraft support to handle those helicopters. Call for reinforcements on the support channel.
This is how you add reinforcements.
Yes. The Americans will treat you
So,
if you're unable to protect yourself.
basically, Malyshenko's a bit more nuanced than you will see in the beginning missions. When we get to some flashback missions, I'll point it out. But he's for the longest time the stereotypical anti-American Russian. But that's only for a little bit. You don't really understand his hatred of Americans until a specific flashback mission anyway. Is this? That, I think, could be SA-3s? Gophers? You know, I'm using a NATO designation. I'm not certain what the anti-aircraft weaponry is, but something.
More enemy helicopters are moving in to attack you, Romanov.
Yeah, they're gonna die. So, yeah. I often wonder, though, this game also shows probably the most plausible American invasion scenario I've ever seen, in any, like, form of entertainment. What the Russians will do, and it's next mission anyway, so it's not... Yes, I'm spoiling it, but really, you're gonna see it anyway, so you're fine. That's the anti-tank fortification right there, you know, stuff like that. So, what happens is the Russians place a large army on cargo ships. And then they invade Seattle, being Seattle, Washington. And, you know, they don't get very far, surprisingly. Mainly because everyone in the States has a gun. You kind of see aspects of this in some of the cutscenes. Okay. But not as often as I would have assumed. What would have been very interesting as a DLC for this would be if you could play as American resistance fighters. You know, you don't. I mean, maybe as a future DLC if support is ever, like, redone, or if a remastered version ever exists. If you know what I mean. They can up the graphics, maybe change a few things to make it more modern sounding, feeling. Oh god, what else is there? New units have been added, probably another tank. Because that's all I care about. No, wrong button. So, probably after this mission, sadly, I'm going to
You should also take
go
this
shovel
opportunity to
snow.
replenish any losses.
So, because that's fun.
Give us the command. Well, we're moving up now.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go shovel snow probably after this mission is done. Not as long as I would have liked, but it's something.
Romana,
Because
move
the
with
extent
Section
of my
3 towards
streaming
the
on
main
here
avenue
will largely
and
be
link up
now
with Captain Malashenko.
whenever I
Americans are preparing a
can.
counterattack.
Not that it matters, I have less than 10 followers. I like the fact people
Section
followed
B,
me, but,
advance.
you know, I'm
Make this a
naturally
day to be remembered, comrades.
pessimistic, I suppose. For all manner of personal reasons that relate to my father. But,
All thank our frontal aviation.
yeah.
Sokol 1, Volochenko на связи.
What can I say?
We're under attack by NATO helicopters.
Oh,
and
shit,
immediate
phone.
air support.
Give me a minute.
Romano, you have the necessary equipment.
I do apologize for the sudden... I had a phone call, I needed to take it, and I couldn't press B right back right away. So I'm going to probably continue this stream after I'm done shoveling snow, probably after dinner. This will just go on a YouTube playlist for World in Conflict Soviet Assault. So basically, though, what's going to happen is I'm going to save Malashenko. This is kind of a side thing. I don't need to do it, but it's highly advised you do them. It makes the gameplay overall easier for each level. And the further levels, I'll point that out. Then you kind of see the road here. This road, once we take that position, this road we have to hold, and then the mission ends. Then there's a cutscene, this and that. So I'm going to save. And then, because, you know, let's blame the Russians for everything. They blame us.
Captain Malash-
So there's that. Even though I kind of want to visit the country sometime, mainly to do the Trans-Siberian Express. It's like 2 weeks on a train. Probably the best train ever. So that's going to be that. I will return. Have a nice day. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Stay safe. See you later today, probably.